Can you talk about that, your business, your upcoming business, and then talk about that first. I'm interested in that.
Little Lions Play Den, Juliana's idea. So it'll be a indoor kids play gym. So it'll be like play equipment for kids.
Perfect for you, Ronan.
I know, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, there'll be a little slide and stuff. It'll be sweet. But there'll be like coffee for moms, so moms can relax and talk, and then kids can play.
Yeah,
that's sweet.
Where did that idea come from? You said it was your wife's idea.
Yeah, TikTok.
Nice.
They've been popping up a lot. So, and then just over the past year or two, like we went and saw one. We were actually thinking about like moving out to New York City at one point. Mm-hmm. I had a job offer, and we were thinking about it. So, like we went out to tour that town that my boss worked in, and there was one of these there, and Stetson went, and we liked it. We're like, we need this in State College. So
it seems like super needed because there's so many young families. There's so many people that are like, what do we do?
Yeah. Yeah, and the weather here is like 50-50 most of the year. So
that's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should be fun.
Yeah.
But
do you see yourself like, obviously it's very early with this, but do you see yourself like putting, the plan together for this one and doing more, or just like kind of having this one and then maybe using that experience, branching into new businesses, or like what does that look like?
Yeah, maybe open to either, really. Like just kind of see what feedback we get. And then take it a year at a time. But I would like to like long term have a couple of different businesses. I think like that'd be really cool. Just figure out some different things. But I'd be open if it does well, growing it and seeing where that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you look at starting a business and all the effort that takes and the mindset that takes, what are some things that you think are really important that you want to focus on and that you want like to be a core part of your business structure and strategy?
Really like keeping customers happy, make sure we're like providing value. Like I was reading this really good book. MJ DeMarco is the author. I'm blanking on the name of the book, but he was just talking about like he gets a lot of negative feedback or just feedback. Like you see Google reviews and he's like, don't take those personally, even if it's negative. Like that's free feedback that you're getting on how to improve your systems. So that's something like going into it that I want to really keep in mind. Like even if we get a negative review, just being like, that's free feedback, and the market's telling us what they want, and we'll mold to what they want.
Yeah, that's information.
Yeah.
So like customer, focus on the customer, right?
Yeah, it's like wrestling or competition. You go into a fight or a match, and you do some things good, and you do some things that you're like, man, I want to improve on that. And so that's data. Like, but you got to step into the field of competition. So like the way I see it, the same with business. Like you got to open the door first and test it out. You're going to have things you do well, things that you need to improve, those systems, but you don't get there unless you step into that field and then, kind of tweak it as you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any entrepreneurs or people that you look up to, I guess, like as examples of, maybe stories that you've read or people that have had careers that you respect, or even like people that, are well-known, or even people that you just know personally?
I mean, a lot of books I've read, but anyone specific, like Ira Lubert. Yeah. Phenomenal entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. I mean, people that are associated with Penn State wrestling. But no one else really specific. Just that author that I was talking about, MJ DeMarco, I really like some of his principles and, the way he structures his life, the way he thinks about owning a business. So maybe him, but kind of recent in my mind because I just read that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your journey in finance and kind of what your experience was in that world?
Yeah. Studied finance in undergrad. Always was kind of like, man, if I didn't go down the wrestling path, I might want to do something in finance. Like if I hadn't stuck around and did the freestyle circuit, might have tried to go to Wall Street or something. I think that would have been cool for a bit. But met some really great professors here and decided one day, hey, I want to do an MBA. So I did that after 2021, finished that out. met a guy named Taylor Lukoff. He's a USA Wrestling supporter at a function for USA Wrestling, and he's got a finance firm in New York City called ABR, and he's actually the first person that hired me. So got my feet wet there. Was working remote while wrestling. Liked that job, but decided I wanted to stay in state college, and kind of did a short stint in wealth management here in town. Another great guy, Eric Dare, state college guy, but just didn't like resonate with me. Like I felt myself every day in the office, kind of just fantasizing about not being there. So that was the first time I had that in a job.
Wow.
So I think just the pressure of like selling to friends and family like too early, I just didn't like that feeling. So kind of wanted to know the material a little bit, and not that I felt maybe it was just internal pressure, but just didn't like it. So just decided after a couple months of that, step into coaching. I still have like interest in finance, like for the plate end, I'm doing a lot of like the Excel docs and stuff, but so I like toying with that stuff, but
super helpful for your businesses.
Yeah, I'm more like, I'm learning about myself that I'm more like creative. So I like entrepreneurship's good, I think, because you can create something, and then also there's like numbers behind it too that matter. But I think when I go too far down like the analytical side, I don't enjoy it as much. I can do it, but it's not my favorite.
And sales too, like that's a specific type of person.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't attracted to that either. Like I like to buy stuff from people. Like I like to buy houses. Yeah. But like the idea of going to like people that I love and like selling something to them is like kind of uncomfortable for me. Yeah. But some guys really do well at it. Right. I'd rather like create a really good product, and then people come to like be a part of that product. Yeah. I feel like
I think that. So I've been listening to this podcast called Founders Podcast. Okay. And it's really good. You should check it out. But basically this guy just goes through as many different biographies and autobiographies as he can, all about history's greatest entrepreneurs. And he's done probably close to 400 episodes. And he, he'll even like some guys that aren't, maybe don't have a biography or an autobiography, he'll take like transcripts of interviews or speeches that they gave and print them out and then just like read through everything and highlight it and take notes and stuff. But a lot of the themes from person to person translate. And it's almost weird because he'll talk about a person from, 200 years ago, and then he'll talk about a person from like 50 years ago, and they ran the same playbook. Wow. And so so he'll talk about like specific things, obviously involving what it takes to run a successful business. And sales specifically is such an interesting thing because it's not like naturally it's hard to do, right? Yeah. Like I feel the same way. Like I've tried to sell things before and I'm like, I don't feel good about this. The same way like both of you guys have explaining it. But all of the best entrepreneurs in history, I won't say all, but a large majority of them are amazing at sales. And I really think the reason that they're amazing at sales is not because they're good at selling. It's because what they're selling is like so integral to like who they are. Yeah. And it's like it's something that they just can't not sell. Yeah. Like Steve Jobs at Apple, right? Like you don't think of Steve Jobs as a salesman, but really he was selling like, all of Apple's products, and the way he was able to get so good at it was that he just believed so strongly that this was like going to change the world and how important it was to, to humanity. And it's like, I think that not everybody's naturally good at sales. Like there's some people that can just sell, like it's some people have it, but I think if you find something that you really identify with and you can get behind,
it doesn't feel like sales.
No, then it's just like you're gonna sell, right? Like you're like, I love this, so I'm gonna sell it. Like, I think we're all actually kind of selling every day, like by what we're wearing, what we're talking about, the recommendations we make to people. Like we're all doing that, but it just doesn't feel natural, I think, if you are doing something that you don't like identify with perfectly.
I think that's where I struggled with wealth management. What I was talking about is like I didn't know the material well enough to sell it yet. Not that it was like
early,
bad or anything. It was just like felt early, and like I think you need to have a little bit of time and to like believe in what you're selling. So yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean the Play Cafe, it's like that's something that you know is going to add value to people's lives.
Yeah,
and so it's like you're not going to have any issue talking about it and recommending it. And at the end of the day, really what you're doing is selling it to people. You're selling the experience of their kids having a good time, being able to meet other people and have a community. And like that's an easy thing for you to sell because you value it. And it's really important to you and important to a lot of other people. So it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know it well, right? Like you're saying that wealth management is not that it's not a good thing. It's just like you don't know it as well as maybe some people, or as you could if you put a lot of time into it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the stereotypical salesman of like selling solar door to door, but they're just getting started. Like that kind of mentality is different than like Bo was saying, and how I feel about like creating a product that you love or like mastering a craft. And then from there, it's all sales and marketing anyway. So, but then it feels different. Like, like if I know real estate, my niche better than anybody, I have no problem like telling people about it. And that in itself is sales. But I guess my goal is more of, I know it so well, and that's like reflected that people are attracted to it. And then it's less of being like salesy to them, like, hey, you need to be involved in this. And like more of like, this guy knows it so well, I want to be a part of it. And I think that's what like, it seems like Steve Jobs and people like that do so well, is they just become like engulfed in it, and then they become a master at it. And then it's impossible for people to not want to be sold.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. What they call that in business is your business's moat, right? So it's like a protection for your business. And so like the best moat that you can develop and create for your business that's going to sustain you and protect you through, you know, let's say financial downturns or whatever it is like pouring yourself and like just like absolutely knocking the quality and the understanding of the product out of the park.
Yeah.
It's like you not only have to have that depth of knowledge that is just like world class and, you know, the best, but then it's like use that to create the highest quality of whatever it is that you're trying to create, whether it's, you know, a home or whether it's a you know, experience for people or a product for people. Or it's like, that's what is really insulating you from, I mean, I think Warren Buffett's quote is like, you don't realize how many people are swimming with no pants on till the tide goes out.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what, you know, when you focus on that understanding and quality, you're insulating, you're creating a moat.
For sure.
Yeah.